So this is going to be another movie review. This one's called Firestone 1998. This is going to be another Karate Man recommendation. I'm giving it 3 out of 5 stars. I thought it was pretty goofy and confusing. It does have a little bit of firefighter corruption at the end that was very confusing. I thought it was all right. Howie Long does not belong in film. It's quite obvious after this one. Some of the action scenes are ridiculous, like unintentional humor, like when William Forsythe gets his head burned to a crisp. That scene right there was the reason to watch. Fast forward to the end to watch William Forsythe's head get turned into a crispy black color from the fire. Oh man. Fight fire with fire, says the poster. 1998. So I'm rating it a little bit higher than the low IMDb average rating. And thank you for the recommendation, Karate Man. I know it was you because only you would recommend something like this from the late 90s. Some Howie Long action flick. So, the ending was pretty decent. At least the ending fire scene, it looked like cheap CGI when the fire was engulfing all the trees at a rapid pace. I mean, I've never seen a fire advance so quickly. Firestorm is a 1998 U.S. action thriller film directed by Dean Semler and starring Howie Long, Scott Glenn, William Forsythe, and Susie Amos, who's some kind of kooky vegetarian married to James Cameron. During a forest fire in northern Wyoming, Smoke Jumper Jesse Graves and his mentor, Wint Perkins, who's later revealed to be corrupt, are rescuing trapped civilians when a woman begs them to rescue her daughter from a burning cabin. They locate the girl, but Wint is injured by a travel trailer sent flying by an explosion. Jesse manages to free Wint and rescue both him and the girl from the flash over. Wint's injuries mean that he must retire from active duty, but he balks at the idea of full retirement due to his inadequate pension plan. So that gives you a hint that he's desperate for money in 1998. uh, okay, we've got a release date of January 9th, 1998. I think the economy was doing too bad at this time. I think I found a job relatively easy here in downtown San Francisco. I worked at the same place for 12 years, and yeah, I was I was doing good around this time. Running time 89 minutes, country US, language English, budget $19 million, and a box office of only $8,165,212. So this was a box office flop. I can't imagine how badly it affected Howie Long in the Hollywood industry after this one. It must have been a big disappointment, needless to say. Months later, a group of convicts stage an escape with the help of an arsonist on the outside who sets a fire in the forest so that the prisoners will be taken there to help firemen, giving the prisoners a chance to escape. Randall Alexander Shea, who had stolen $37 million 4 years previously and hidden it into the forest, kills his cellmate. And he takes his identity as he and 5 other escapees go to retrieve the money. They pose as Canadian firefighters, and they take Jennifer, a bird watcher, hostage along the way. Kind of ironic that the hot blondie Jennifer, who's married to James Cameron, is also a bird watcher. And she never gets naked in this film, by the way. Unbeknownst to all of them, another forest fire has started due to a lightning strike from a week earlier. Jesse, realizing that the firefighters are convicts in disguise, must find a way to stop Shea and his group of convicts while saving Jennifer at the same time. Shea gradually kills off his men in order to collect the money himself, starting with fellow prisoner Wilkins, a map maker, and Carge, a former wrestler. However, Shea finds out that the money was destroyed in the fire. He proceeds to kill Loomis, a former Air Force pilot, by pushing him off a cliff to make it look like an accident. And he shoots Packer, a serial rapist, after he gets caught in a spring trap set by Jesse. Wint does everything he can to help Jesse and save Jennifer. Jennifer tells Jesse that she was a Marine before she became a bird watcher. She and Jesse tried to give out smoke signals to have Jesse's friends find him before the 2 separate forest fires combined and suck up all the oxygen. Wint arrives to save a busload of prisoners and firefighters after they were forced at gunpoint to get inside the vehicle. He hotwires the bus and he drives it away to safety. Wint then catches up with Jesse and comes up with a plan. Jesse begins to realize his friend knew that there was a fire from the beginning and he never told anyone because he was in on some kind of scheme. Wint tells Jesse he started the fire in order for a land developer to build a training school for firefighters, but he knew nothing of the prison break. Jesse tells him it wasn't his fault, and he promises he will keep the crime a secret from his friends. Wint controls Shea by telling him Shea's lawyers set him up to take the fall. He shoots Shea in the leg but is killed in the process. Jesse throws a fire axe into Shea's chest, causing him to fall off the boat he and Jennifer were in. Jesse and Jennifer use the boat as an air pocket to keep from drowning and to prevent themselves from getting burned alive as the firestorm destroys the area. Suddenly, Gunshots start coming from underneath them, and a couple bullets make a hole in the boat. Shay survives his injury and plans on killing Jennifer and Jesse. Jesse gets the upper hand and kills Shay by shoving his head through the hole under the boat, burning him to death. Heavy rainfall then drowns out the fire, and Jesse and Jennifer swim to shore where they wait to be rescued. And that's pretty much the movie, although there's some silliness towards the very end. Right before that point, Avenger 6 is in the chat room. He says, heck yeah, with the thumbs up. All right. Scott Glenn, who played the firefighter turned arsonist in the film, also starred in Backdraft, 1991, where coincidentally he played the part of a Chicago firefighter who was an arsonist. So this is the second time Scott Glenn played a firefighter arsonist. We call it pyromania on the Def Leppard record. The screenplay for the film, written on spec, was Chris Sloth as his thesis for the MFA screenwriting program at USC, was originally purchased by the now defunct Savoy Pictures. When Savoy had the project, the film was going to be more epic in scale with comprehensive visual and computer effects. Savoy even offered Sylvester Stallone $20 million to star. He accepted. However, the studio went bust before the film was made. 20th Century Fox picked up the script from Turnaround, and they fashioned it into a more intimate, smaller budgeted movie, as they were looking to only spend $20 million on the picture. Only $20 million in 1998. That's funny. Graham Yost did an uncredited production polish on the script, which was also rewritten by 4 other writers on the way to production. The film opened to very negative reviews on the review aggregator website Rotten Tomatoes. A very low 12% of 26 critics' reviews are positive, with an average rating of another very low 3.7 out of 10, which is not as low as the IMDb rating. The website's consensus reads, Firestorm failed to ignite ex-pro footballer Howie Long's career, or anything else for that matter. Audiences polled by CinemaScore gave the film an average grade of a C- on a scale of A+ to F, which is more aligned with my personal rating. So why is it that my personal ratings are always closer to CinemaScore rather than Rotten Tomatoes? It's because the lamestream movie reviewers don't give points to films that have William Forsythe getting his head turned into a charred black human skull. That scene had to be one of the best scenes ever in the history of film right there. And then you had the pyromaniac firefighter just out of nowhere. He admits to burning down the forest for some developer. The film was a bomb at the box office. Yeah, that's an understatement. It opened in 7th place with a paltry $3.8 million behind 6 films that had been released at least 3 weeks earlier and it took only $8.1 million in the United States during its theatrical run. Well, so much for Howie Long's movie career. Firestorm 98 rated R for no apparent reason, and it's not too bad. I think I can squeeze in another review later today for a movie called Murder at 1600 with Wesley Snipes, the the black dude that my friend from Santa Rosa dislikes because he failed to pay he failed to file his income tax return. And he got punished harshly for it too. All right. Gets a low 4.9 out of 10 on IMDb. Firestorm. And we've got 4,500 ratings. So it's not an obscure film, but people generally know about this. Karate Man certainly does. Firefighter. And by the way, I couldn't find it on YouTube or Tubi. I had to find it on Amazon Prime, which is kind of unusual. I paid $3.69 to rent this on Amazon Prime. Firefighter Jesse Graves has to save ornithologist Jennifer and other people caught in the forest fire, which was set up by the lawyer of convicted killer Earl Shea, who escaped from the prison with several of his inmates, posing as firefighters to recover $37 million in stashed loot. I didn't catch that there was $37 million in stashed loot that got burned in the forest. It's a good thing I read the summary, the plot summary on Wikipedia. Otherwise, I would have missed a lot of this stuff. I didn't know that Shay had started the fire either. Everything just happened so quick. Here's a more flattering review from Ghostman16 on IMDb. The title of the review on IMDb is William Forsythe Rocks. Yeah, I guess he's the reason to watch this, not necessarily Howie Long, who's all over the movie poster. Ghostman16 gives it a little bit higher rating of a 7 out of 10. I'm giving it a 6 out of 10. And this IMDb review is dated April 1st, 2007. Firestorm is a cliffhanger type thriller starring Howie Long as Jesse Graves, a heroic firefighter who is up against a group of escaped convicts led by the psychotic Randall, who has kidnapped a bird watcher played by Susie Amos, and he has caused a giant fire that is turning into a firestorm now. Jesse must now save the hostage, stop the fire, and take care of Randall. Firestorm is quite a fun thriller. Howie Long was quite a good hero. Shame he didn't make any more action films after this. William Forsythe was absolutely brilliant as the main bad guy. Randall William normally plays decent bad guys anyway, like in Out for Justice and Stone Cold. Even Scott Glenn is in it. To end the firestorm is a well-made action thriller, a bit cliched, but still cool. 7 out of 10. This movie is just goofy. And the movie theater, I mean, it's not a great film. More like this chill factor Nemesis on Deadly Ground and The Perfect Weapon. Those are all Karate Man movies except for Chill Factor. I don't remember him recommending Chill Factor. Fox chose Howie Long for the lead after several key executives were pleased with his performance in the studio's action film Broken Arrow from 1996. Smoke jumpers do not jump with their tools, they are delivered in separate cargo parachute drops. Shay is quoted, "In case you haven't noticed, we're not firemen." Featured in HBO First Look Firestorm 1998. Soundtracks Cat People Putting Out the Fire, written by Giorgio Moroder, David Bowie, performed by David Bowie, courtesy of MCA Records by arrangement with Universal Music Special Markets. Release date January 9th, 1998 in the US. Country of origin US. Language English, also known as something in Russian and I can't read. Filming locations Squamish, British Columbia, Canada. Production company 20th Century Fox. A budget of $19 million estimated. Opening weekend US and Canada, $3,849,308. Gross US and Canada, $8,165,212. And gross worldwide, $8,165,212. So based on this, we can assume that it didn't have a worldwide distribution outside the US and Canada, but it's got some kind of weird Russian name. So once again, IMDb contradicts itself here. We've got runtime 1 hour, 29 minutes, 89 minutes. It's in color. The sound mix is Dolby Digital, and the aspect ratio is 2.35. So we've got bad CGI, bad acting, a great ending, and the end of Howie Long's very short Hollywood career. That about sums it up for Firestorm 1998. Let's go down the pike, shall we? We've got let's see what are the top 3 on my list here. The amazing Avarice Ichiban list. Murder at 1600, 1997. Then we've got Unbreakable, A Story of Hope and Healing in Haiti, 2014. And last but not least, number 3, Catch 22 from 1970. So those are the next 3 on my list. I'm going to check out Murder at 1600, starring Wesley Snipes next. And thanks for being in the chat room, Venger Sticks. Good to see you again. Laters.